What's up guys, it's Zach here. Welcome to a video on how to develop discipline. In this video, I want to talk to you guys about how I developed discipline in my life and consistency, which helped me to achieve my fitness goals. More specifically, I want to talk about how I actually managed to go from 83 kilograms up to 110 in the course of a year during my muscle gain journey, all through developing consistency and discipline. And then subsequently, going through a fat loss phase and losing up to 15 kilograms in about 3 months, and how this also applies to you and how you can apply it to your own life. So if you're new to the channel, my name's Zach. I'm an online transformation coach from Gold Coast, Australia, and I'm here to help people who work an office job to get in the best shape of their lives, improve their confidence, and become the best versions of themselves. What I want to do in this video is also go through 3 specific and common problems that people encounter when they're trying to develop self-discipline. And these are also the things that I've encountered along my own journey that are very specific to my progress in self-discipline. And from that point, to give 3 strategies or ways that I've overcome that myself and that you can use in your own life to develop more self-discipline. So with that being said, let's get into the video. So let's go through a bit of a background on what discipline actually is, why it's relevant to you, and how I've used it in my own life to achieve my goals, and also why it's relevant for you to develop self-discipline. So discipline is one of the most important skills that you can develop as a person. And yes, I said skill. Building discipline is like building muscle. It doesn't happen overnight. It's something that you have to work on and consistently put effort into to increase and improve. So what even is self-discipline? Well, the technical definition of self-discipline is the ability to control your emotions or your feelings and overcome your weaknesses. However, my definition of discipline is a little bit different. I define self-discipline as the practice of operating in your life based on what the best version of yourself would do. It's asking yourself daily, what would the best version of myself do today? In this moment, in every moment that might require self-discipline, is asking yourself the question, what would the best version of myself do right now? And then answering that and acting on that. Now, why is it so important to develop self-discipline? Put simply, developing self-discipline improves literally every area of your life. But more specifically, it will help you to achieve your goals, to improve your relationships, to achieve your fitness goals, to improve your overall health, and achieve any other goal that you set out to achieve. Not to mention that the satisfaction that comes from developing self-discipline and achieving your goals as a result of that compares to pretty much nothing else. Now, in the context of fitness and developing self-discipline for fitness, discipline is going to be the thing that helps you to develop consistency. And now consistency is the thing that's going to help you get results. The results will give you a positive reinforcing cycle that allows you to keep being more disciplined and building that habit. And as you continuously experience that positive reinforcing cycle of self-discipline and achieving the goals, becoming more consistent and so on, then you'll continuously develop into a better version of yourself over time, and your life will significantly improve. Just a quick note before I continue on in the video, when I refer to discipline or self-discipline, I'm actually meaning the same thing. So if I say use those words interchangeably, then just know that I mean the same thing. Now, it's vital for you to understand that self-discipline is a skill. And being a skill, it's something that can be learnt, and it can also be developed over time. And after you develop, or as you continuously develop self-discipline, it will progressively become part of who you are. It becomes a character trait that will permeate through all the other areas of your life, leading to improvements across the board. So now that we've covered a bit of background on self-discipline, we're going to go into 3 common problems that people encounter and also things that I've encountered too along my journey, and also how to overcome them. So the first error that I see people making when it comes to developing self-discipline is having the all or nothing mindset. You feel like you need to be perfect, or you need to do everything perfectly 100% and be super consistent in order to be a self-disciplined person. Now, it's important to note that pretty much everyone has probably suffered with the all or nothing mindset in some way, shape, or form. And when I first started my fitness journey, that was something that I used to struggle with a lot. I used to think that I needed to do it perfectly or I shouldn't do it at all. And that's simply just not the case. Now, I'm not going to say that I still don't have that to a certain extent, because everyone has that to a certain extent, and it's something that you progressively work on. Like I said, self-discipline is a muscle that you develop over time. However, the one thing that I have learned that really helps to dismantle this concept is that actually when you have an all or nothing mindset and you try to do things perfectly, you actually end up making it worse. You end up procrastinating, putting things off, or giving up when you start to go through some kind of process or you're trying to achieve a specific result because you can't do it perfectly. Or rather, you feel the need that you have to do things perfectly, and if you can't do it perfectly, then you may as well just give up or not even try at all. Now, having this all or nothing mindset is almost always a recipe for disaster, because it's coming from a place of not being good enough. It's coming from a place of imperfection or feeling the need to be perfect with everything. And the problem with this is it actually undermines your ability to create self-discipline. And what this often does is it actually stops you from being able to take small, consistent actions, and imperfect actions, I might add, towards your goal and start making progress and becoming more self-disciplined. The problem with taking a mindset of perfection is that it often leads to a fear of failure. And this will lead you to avoiding taking any small actions towards your goals or taking the first step. You end up abandoning all the efforts that you've made if they can't match the unrealistic expectations of trying to be perfect. But what I've realized is that progression is actually more important than perfection. And often when you embrace a progress mindset, you realize that you can fall off track, you can mess up, make mistakes, and you can experience setbacks and challenges. But then you can get back up and continuously to develop self-discipline and continuously achieve your goals. By learning from your mistakes and picking things up where you left off, you can continuously make progress whilst not being perfect. Now, it's also important to understand that it's almost never a smooth ride towards your fitness goals. And now note, in this video, I'm specifically talking in the context of achieving fitness goals, but this really relates to anything in life. There are always bumps in the road, setbacks or challenges that you will experience as you're trying to achieve any goal. But if you approach your goals with the mindset of progression over perfection, then you can handle setbacks with more fluidity and get back on track much faster. So to overcome this one, realize that progression is more important than perfection and focus on building consistency into your daily routine. And in addition to that, focus on improving your ability to make decisions based on what your future self will thank you for, instead of being perfect. So the second most common mistake that I see, that I've made myself and that I see other people making, is not designing your environment in a way that's conducive to self-discipline. They actually did a study on successful people in many areas of life. And what they found was that these people who were successful in being disciplined was that they designed their environment in a way that removed temptation or removed the circumstances where they had to use willpower to resist temptations. And this actually allowed them to be more disciplined. So if you're someone who struggles with self-discipline when it comes to achieving your fitness goals, maybe you struggle to do your workouts, you struggle to eat healthier foods, and you often find yourself binging on snacks or high-calorie foods, one of the simplest things you can do is to simply remove them from your environment. One of the simplest things that you can do to become more self-disciplined is to simply remove the temptation. Remove it from your environment. Now, I know this might sound super obvious, but people still don't do this. Or in another context, if you struggle to get to the gym or go and do your workouts, one thing you could do to become more self-disciplined is to put your clothes beside your bed, ready to do the next morning. And you could also get your gym bag ready and put it out somewhere where you know you can just pick it up and go, rather than putting it somewhere where you have to go and get it out and you have to go through all these different steps to get ready and then go there, because you're adding more obstacles in the way and more challenges for you to be able to go and get the job done. Now, when it comes to actually developing discipline for going to the gym, simply the act of going to the gym, if you struggle with motivation or discipline with that, then one strategy that you could also use for this is having someone hold you accountable. This could be a friend, it could be a family member, it could be a coach, it could be an accountability buddy, someone that's going to hold you accountable, someone that you have to account for and you need to report to, quote unquote, in order to actually go and get something done. And there's no harm or shame whatsoever in going and getting someone who can help you to stay accountable towards your goals. Because at the end of the day, humans are creatures of habit. And if you continuously have someone holding you accountable for a long enough period of time, and you show up because that person's holding you accountable, then you're going to develop habits over time. You're going to become more consistent and more disciplined. And as a result of that, you will achieve more results, and that will just reinforce the cycle. So here are also a few more things that you can do to develop self-discipline and achieve your goals faster. If you're working out from home, as an example, and you struggle to find the space to do your workouts, then maybe developing or creating a specific workout space just for you, just for your workouts, just for you to take care of yourself, that is going to help you to stay more disciplined and get the job done. In the context of being more disciplined to eat healthier foods or develop better eating habits, what you could do is start to stock your cupboards with more healthy foods, remove the bad ones or remove the temptations. Because I don't necessarily want to say bad foods, as I don't really believe in the good food, bad food. I believe in the balance between the two, so I'm not going to dig into that side of things. However, the principle that I'm trying to convey is that if you struggle with that and you binging too far on the side of foods that are not conducive to your goals, then maybe you need to remove them from your environment. And that might be the simplest solution for you to become more disciplined. Now, the next one you could do is also developing or having visual cues and reminders in place to help you to be more disciplined and achieve your goals. Which, to be honest, that could be something like having your clothes by your bed. When you wake up, you know that you're going to put your clothes on and then you're going to go straight to the gym. You might have your gym bag by the door, and that's something you can use to just leave, pick it up on the way out, and then go. Now, another thing you can do is also start to develop habits and routines, or also schedules around the goal that you're trying to achieve. So if, for example, you're trying to go and do more workouts, you're trying to adhere more to a fitness program, then having alarms on your phone for when you have a set time to do a workout is going to help you to remind yourself that, okay, now is workout time, and that's going to help you develop more discipline. Another thing you can do when it comes to developing more discipline in terms of routines is have a routine. Develop a routine that helps you to stay consistent and be more disciplined in your fitness program. Now, that could come in the form of a specific time every day when you have a certain number of actions that you need to lead up to achieving the goal, or to go and doing a workout, which could be putting your clothes on, getting your gym bag ready, filling up your water bottle, picking up your gym towel. So all those things could come in one, and you could line those up so that you can actually be more consistent with that, and then you have that set up for you already, and then each time you do that, then you'll have that ready to go. Another thing that I've found really helpful for myself is actually scheduling in workouts into my calendar. And when it comes to scheduling the workouts into your calendar, you need to treat it like an appointment with yourself that you can't miss. So just like you have an appointment with a doctor or a consultant or something like that, that's the same type of mindset that you want to have with appointments you set with yourself. So that's also going to really help you, and something that's helped me personally in developing more discipline. And lastly, another thing you can do is having an accountability system. So I mentioned this prior, but one thing that's really helpful is if you have someone there, someone who's going to hold you accountable towards achieving that goal and becoming more disciplined. Because really, it's about having systems in place that allow you to be more disciplined, develop habits, and show up for yourself. And when you start to reinforce those habits, it forms that cycle, the positive reinforcing cycle, as I mentioned, that helps you be more disciplined and get more results over time. Now, the third and final mistake that I see people making, and something that I made myself too during my journey, is surrounding yourself with the wrong people. Your ability to develop self-discipline and be disciplined in general really comes down to the people that you surround yourself with. One of the biggest realizations that I've had in the last 12 months specifically is that the people that I surround myself with is the people that I'll become. And there's a quote, I think it's by Dan Penna, and he says, "You become like the 5 people you spend the most time with." Now, that could be wrong, could have been from someone else, but that's really important to understand. If you are surrounded by quote unquote losers who are not going in the direction that you want to go with your life and do not have the results and are not supportive of you going and becoming a better version of yourself, then you are likely to become that sixth friend or that sixth person who also is not achieving their goals. And I cannot push this point enough, is that my experience with this has been really profound. The amount of self-discipline I've developed as a result of the people that I spend my time with has been incredible. And if there's one trick or one tool that you can use to develop self-discipline, is to surround yourself with people who are on the same path as you. For example, now that I've moved to the Gold Coast and I live here with people who are fit and active, and I've surrounded myself with different friends who are also already in shape, they're incredibly fit, and they're doing things that are actually, they're trying to chase after goals and they're trying to achieve things. That has helped me and pushed me to become more disciplined myself without even really having to try, because you naturally want to adhere to that. You naturally want to raise your standards based on the environment that you have around you. And funnily enough, they actually did a study on this, and they found that people who were most successful in achieving their goals actually surrounded themselves with other people who are like-minded and who are on that same path. And those people who were successful in achieving their goals, they wanted to raise their standards, or they naturally raised their standards to fit to those people that they were surrounded with. And they call this the social circle effect. So if currently you're finding yourself surrounded by people who are not where you want to be, or they haven't achieved the things that you want, or they're at least not trying to improve their lives or become more self-disciplined and achieve the goals that they want, then maybe it's time to re-examine how much time you're spending with those people. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that you have to go and get rid of these people and completely eliminate them. What I'm saying is that try to perhaps evaluate, look at how much time you're spending with those people, and maybe start to search out a different friend group or different people you can spend time with, and notice how your behaviors and your habits change. And also notice how much you become more disciplined as a result of those people. Now, when it comes to also finding these people, you might be asking like, okay, well, that's all well and good to want to be more disciplined and spend time with these people and become more self-disciplined, but where am I supposed to find these people? The answer to that is you have to go and find out whatever the specific result is. Now, in this video, I'm talking in the context of fitness. So if you want to become more disciplined with your fitness routine, then going and searching out people who are on that same path. If you want to go to the gym and your specific goal might be to gain muscle, then go and sign up to a gym and start spending more time in that area and start trying to talk with the people, start hanging around with those people, or it might even be networking groups, it might be meetups, it might be going on a running event or something. When you're finding these specific types of sports or events, or even just the type of environment where those people might be, naturally you're probably going to meet people in that environment, and you can start spending more time around those people and maybe making friends that will help you to become more disciplined. Now, another crucial thing that you can do, and this is something that I've done myself, and it's something that I see is very, very helpful for developing self-discipline, is to hire someone like a coach or having an accountability buddy or a friend who's on that same path. But having someone that you can hire to hold you accountable towards your goals and give you a path forward and hold you to a higher standard will naturally make you become more self-disciplined. It's just a given. So that's another really helpful tool that you can use to become more self-disciplined. So anyway, guys, that is the 3 common problems that I see people face when they're trying to become more self-disciplined. These are 3 things that I've experienced myself, and I've also just given some strategies on how you can overcome that. And those are also the things that I've used myself. Now, I wouldn't be doing you a service if I didn't also talk about the overarching why behind all of this. And what I'm referring to specifically is having a bigger reason, having multiple reasons why. Why are you going to do that? You know, like in Simon Sinek, he talks about starting with why, starting with what is the bigger reason why you're doing this. Because if you don't have anything that's motivating you towards that intrinsically from within, then you're not going to have enough motivation to want to even start this journey. Self-discipline, as I said, is a muscle. It's something that you develop over time. But if you don't have an initial reason why you're doing it that's going to propel you forward, then what purpose do you have in even doing it? So for me personally, and this is going to be different for everyone, but for me personally, it's because I want to become a better version of myself so that I can show up better in my life, I can show up better for the other people that I care about, and I can make the world a better place. Simultaneously, I don't want to regress and become a worse version of myself, I'm not able to show up for the people I care about, and I'm making the world a worse place by not becoming more disciplined and becoming the better version of myself. And as I said, it's going to be individual to you. It's got to be meaningful to you. Whatever the reason why is that you're actually doing this, you need to think about that as well. And as I said, it's operating from what the best version of yourself would do, asking yourself that question. So what is the purpose? And when you're able to do this, then it helps you to become more disciplined and continuously make progress in the direction that you want to go. So anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. I really hope that you've enjoyed this. I hope you got some value from it. I hope it's kind of got you thinking about different ways that you can become more disciplined. Hopefully it resonated. So if you got some value from this, I'd love it if you'd like and subscribe, and yeah, click the bell notification so you can get more videos like this when I post them. But I really hope you got some value from this. You can also check out some of the free resources in the description below if you want to check out some of my free workout programs, calorie calculators, or also my performance newsletter as well, where I can give you better tips on how to improve your body, improve your mind, and just, get more disciplined and improve your fitness goals. So anyway, that's the end of the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.